So we are live, Sunday League Extra, and I'm joined by St Joe's manager, Macca, Stephen McDade. How you doing, mate? You good?
How you doing, Ricky? Thanks for having me, mate.
I appreciate you coming on to speak to us, mate. We'll go right back to the beginning. Well, not too right back to the beginning. Tell me about how you became involved in the whole St Joe's project.
So it started off, I was actually playing for another team, a Sunday side, and we folded due to players not paying their fines, basically. I ended up paying a large chunk of the fines to keep the team running because it was started by my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law was the manager. However, there was another fine that was petty, to be honest. It was like 150 quid, and I just said, look, the lads who owe the fines, pay the fines and we can keep going, and they didn't. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to pay it. So at that time I was still playing, sponsoring the team and stuff like that, and then they folded. My brother-in-law got brought into St Joe's as like an assistant, and then after a year or so, the guy who was managing it with him stepped away, and then he said to me, do I want to come in and help him? So I sort of stayed with him for 2-3 years, I'd say, and then he moved on to Saturday football. He's doing really well at that now, and he sort of left me to my own devices. So that's how I fell into it, rather than had an interview process, should I say.
All right, it seems to have worked out though, mate. I think your trophy cabinet speaks volumes for your time in charge.
Yeah, I think that's 9 trophies in 6 years.
9 trophies in 6 years?
7 if you include COVID, so...
Cool, it's not bad, is it, mate, to be honest? I've seen worse.
Not bad, not bad. Not all my own doing, I must admit, but, you know...
No, you've got a good bunch of lads there, haven't you?
Yeah, good bunch of lads.
Nice. What would you say, obviously, the fact that you've won 9 trophies in 6-7 years now is unbelievable achievement. What's your one highlight you'd pick out, if you can pick out one highlight, if it's one game or one season?
Back in 16-17 we won the league, a tough league, as it always is around here. That one probably sticks in my mind the most because the club itself probably hadn't won it in 8-9 years, so it was kind of like, you know, we always set out to be the best in the area, but Sunday
It's always
league,
your first priority, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
If you win your league, you've done well, haven't you?
Yeah, and you know, that one probably sticks in my mind the most, although I was only an assistant then. The County Cup last Friday was obviously great.
Yeah, I've got to say that, mate, as well. It was a great result for you. Yeah, well done. Yeah,
against, you know, a tough, good side, you know, lot of long-standing rivalry there, and I think that was the 4th time we beat them this season. So
they must be sick of the sight of you.
Yeah, I mean, we're all mates, you know what I mean? Like, we're all sort of good pals and stuff like that. But once you cross that white line, as they say, it's a different game. But, you know, the clubs have been building towards the National Cup. You know, we would have won that league. You know, we played 7, won 7, scored something mental, like 50 goals, conceded 5 or something. You know, we were on course for that league this year, but COVID and stuff like that. So
what was the in terms of your league, obviously the reason it was stopped was COVID related. Did you all get a say in it at all, or was you just told that it weren't coming back, or was it a vote thing? How did that work?
No, so it was basically just the committee, the league organisation itself just decided that's it, we're knocking it on the head. However, we will continue the County Cup because I think we're at the quarter-final stage of that. So it was a case of just seeing out another 2 games potentially. Yeah. And then they put an offer out to each club and said, do you want to do like a little Champions League style format group? Whoever wants in, put your hands up. I think 10 out of 11 teams entered or something like that. So we've got the cup final for that this Sunday.
So that's another chance for some more silverware.
Yeah, nice. Against a good side again, though. You know, for some Sunday sides, Saturday football being knocked on the head's been a blessing. because
a lot of teams have strengthened, haven't they? A lot of teams.
Yeah, I know. Like the likes of Hatcham down in the Bromley, like they're a completely different team now.
If they would have had that team at the start of the season, I think it would have been they would have been right up there with a chance of winning it. To be honest.
Yeah, they won't have it next season though. So.
I don't think they'll have all of them. Definitely not. No. I think
there's a couple that tried it in our league, and you know, I one-lined it at the game after we come from 2-0 down. You can't buy chemistry, so you know we come from 2-0 down to pull it back, and, you know.
When you've got a side as well drilled as yours, who have won as much as yours, another team, if they're going to compete with that, they're going to have to do some really big strengthening.
I think for us, it was a case of we went 2-0 down. We know if we get back to 2-2, them lads will just be like, I ain't bothered. I'm just here. Do you know what I mean? This don't mean nothing. But whereas our lads, it means everything.
Yeah, it's for the badge more than the other team, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I like that. Next thing I wanted to talk about, mate, your captain, James Bishop.
Yes.
Talk to me about his importance to the side. I know he's a big part of your success.
Yeah, so Bish, believe it or not, is only 23, 24.
I couldn't believe it when you told me that when we spoke previously. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, he's vocal. He'll dig lads out, like lads that are 10 years older than him. He'll let them know where they are.
They all seem like they listen to him as well.
Yeah, I think they respect him because he used to be captain of Luton Town up until he was 18. So you know he got released for them in bad circumstances. He got called into the office. Everyone thought he was getting off the pro. They just said, "We're letting you go, mate." This is 20 minutes before he goes out with the armband.
Wow.
So like he's played at a good level. So you have to respect him. He is there every week. He don't play Saturdays anymore. I'm not sure that that's great for him because he is so young. And I try and explain to him, you should be playing as much as you possibly can.
Still play at a decent level, couldn't he? Absolutely.
Yeah. He was playing step 5, but he was with my brother-in-law, so he was there because he knew the manager. You know, for me, a lot of players do that. They follow the manager.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if they sort of dug down and got inside themselves, they could probably pay a little bit higher. But
yeah,
you know, he's got family life now, and I know he works weekends, whereas before he wasn't. Works Saturdays, doesn't work Sundays and that. And yeah, I think it's just he's just a great lad to have around, and you know, you can always rely on him. Who's going back to the club? You know, he's always the first one to say, "Yeah, I'll be there." Who else is coming? Do you know what I mean? He gets
great for team spirit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he gets a bit of camaraderie going, you know, and yeah, he can't have too many beers because he falls asleep.
He's a lightweight, is he?
I'll put that down to his age.
He's still growing, bless him.
Yeah. Very important player for us, mate.
He impressed me because your semi-final game against Portland, that was a difficult game for a lot of reasons. They had pretty much, it was the strongest Portland team I'd seen in a while, from 1 to 11. And what impressed me about him was it was a hard game, it was a difficult game, it was a big occasion, but even when you were really under the cosh at times, when they were putting a lot of pressure on you, especially that first half hour or so.
Yeah, first half an hour, it was backs against the wall, man.
But he always still wasn't shying away. He wanted the ball all the time. He was asking for the ball all the time.
Yeah. He's a very confident player. I mean, all of our midfielders are very, very comfortable on the ball. I would say that, you know, I'd put them up against anyone. I know you've got likes of Monts and Hamilton down in sort of the OBDSFL.
Both very good players, yeah.
Both very good, but you know, as far as ball playing midfielders, like I'm putting them up against them. I don't see them lads enough to say that they're better or they're worse. But for me, my midfield 4 or 5 that I have to pick from, every bit as good as them. But he got clattered in that game. Just after half time, and I personally thought it was a red. But
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah, he had blood like coming from the side of his knee. I don't know whether Yusuf has sort of left one on him because he's seen him as a problem. But listen, that's football. but he was hobbling through that game, and I was so close to dragging him, to be honest. And I said to him, "Are you okay?" And he just give me the thumbs up. And,
he was never coming off, was he?
If your skipper says that to you, mate, then you gotta trust him.
Yeah. How was staying on the semi-final and the final a little bit as well, actually?
Yeah.
How was the experience for you and the boys to be at St George's Park? How was that?
Yeah,
like, all the facilities, the whole day, everything.
Yeah, so the facilities, I'll be honest with you, like in the semi-final were okay. I think the most difficult thing for us pre-match was 9 players in one change room, 9 in the other. One physio bed,
and stuff.
They split us up. And the change rooms, I'll be honest with you, they were fantastic in that, and they're as good as any sports sort of centre that you get round here, but felt a bit like a new build sports centre. Pitches were lovely. Pitches were very nice.
Yeah, they look like carpets, to be honest.
Yeah, like compared to what we're used to. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's an honour to play there at no matter what stage, semi-final, final, or whatever.
Yeah.
We just went there with sort of the attitude of, trying to do a job and enjoying the experience as much as we can in case we don't get back there. Thankfully, we did. But then not so thankfully.
That puts us nicely on to the final, to be honest. What I can remember, obviously watched the game. It's very tight, very cagey for a lot of it. I did think, hand on my heart, I'm not just saying this because you're here, I've said this to you previously in our little chats that we've had on Twitter, that I thought you look the better in terms of quality, if I'm being honest. And I know you did say to me you were very happy how you kept their star striker, Elliot, kept him under wraps for so long. How hard was it after a disappointment like that to pick the boys up again for the 2 cup? Well, obviously it weren't 2 cup finals at the time, but for the games that you've had since then.
I mean, I thought I'd be devastated, and when that goal goes in extra time, your immediately heart sinks. But I've still had 28 minutes to try and sort of dig the lads through it and sort of G them up. But I just explained to the lads after the game, mate, this is an incredible achievement, and 5 or 6 years ago we were nowhere near that. Nowhere near it. The club hadn't won any silverware in 8 years. So, for me, the way that we sort of went there, conducted ourselves, sort of done the club proud, they all done me proud. I showed a video to all the players in the change room beforehand. I spent the week before going to all their families.
Oh, nice. That's
made
a nice
a video. Yeah, got that one off Pep Guardiola. I thought if it worked for him, it worked for me. But
that's not a bad person to steal something off.
But excuse me. But they were okay. After the immediate sort of 15-20 minutes in the change room, we had sort of a little chat, and then one of the lads just said, "Put some tunes on, mate." So we had the music on after, and you get on the coach and that, and you have a drink and stuff like that. You chat about the game, and listen, they're a strong bunch of lads, and I've no doubt that collectively we'll be back again, banging on the door.
Yeah,
though I won't be part of it, but.
And I think as a unit, you've shown since that game. Obviously, you've won the County Cup. Now you've got the other cup final on Sunday. So I think you've shown you've bounced back as well as could be expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean we've bounced back numerous times. To be honest,
it's always a sign of a good side, isn't it, as well, when you bounce back from disappointment.
Obviously, that National Cup was the 1920 season.
Yeah.
League-wise, we were actually relatively poor, mate. We were probably 3rd in our league, and then I think we beat Lambeth, and then we ain't lost a game since, bar the National Cup.
Unbelievable run, isn't it?
19 game winning streak, and at any level, it doesn't matter what you're at, Prem, bottom, kids football, whatever. to win that many games, and especially under the circumstances, you know, I might go to bed on a Saturday night with 16, 17 players, and I dread picking up my phone in the morning to see how many lads are dropped out. You know, or can't get a hold of lads on a Sunday morning. You might go there at 12, 13, and we've been in that position, and thankfully we've sort of overcome it, and you know, we've cracked on, and we've I think shown that we are a good side. Yeah,
that's an unbelievable run. That's an unbelievable run since that Lambeth win. That's that's really, really impressive. Leading on to what you just said, so is it 100% this is your last season then? You're not going to have one more stab at the National Cup?
My wife's probably earwigging in the living room, so
so it has to be a no for the minute, but I'll ask you tomorrow.
That's it for me, mate. I've just obviously had another child, so that's 3 under 3 for me.
It's a lot of responsibility away from the football, isn't it?
Yeah, my work's quite busy. You know, like I'm going to Germany now at the end of June to work, and then my work could pop up anywhere and say, "You need you to go to France, Italy, Germany, wherever." And I just don't think it's fair on the players for me to be texting them to say, "Are you there?" when I don't know if I'm going to be there myself.
I get you. That makes sense.
I mean, if the club appoints the right, and I hope they will, then I've agreed to still sort of float around in the background, and I'll come to the games, albeit I'll probably have my kids with me, the 2 boys anyway. A little bit older, but I've sort of agreed that I'll mull around in the background, but
sort of like an advisory role.
The Fergie role, I'd call it.
Nice. That's very nicely put.
Just moving upstairs. The chairman said to me, "You're not going anywhere. You're just moving upstairs."
He wants to keep you in some capacity.
Yeah, and listen, as I say, this club's a massive honour to represent. If they want me, I'm sort of delighted in any role. They know that it's not going to be front line, but it'll be something that will help.
How's the search? Any update on the search for a new gaffer yet, or are you still looking, asking about?
We've got a couple of candidates, but I can't say anything, to be honest.
Still, that's all right.
Not like it's a big signing or anything. It's just there's few politics in the background. That's what I'd say.
Things to iron out.
Just need ironed out.
Yeah. No, I understand, mate. What I would love to talk about next, I'm going to move on to YouTube.
Yes.
So obviously, anyone that really knows Sunday League football knows about St Joe's, especially the last few years. Anyone that knows anything knows about you guys. Obviously, over the last 3, 4, 5 years, the whole YouTube scene's exploded, and it's gone right to the forefront of Sunday League football. You've obviously popped up into a lot more conversations since you beat Lambeth very convincingly, I might add as well, 3-0. What's your view on the whole YouTube scene in terms of the quality, and where do you see, obviously I know you don't film your game, I know that you're not filming your games, but where do you see yourself in terms if you did film your games?
I mean, I love the YouTube thing, to be honest. Like, you know,
it's great.
If I'm home on a Sunday, I'll whack on Dons or
straight on the Dons.
I even watched a bit of Banstead Rovers, to be honest. They're sort of like probably the main 3 that I'd tune into. I know there's loads more, so I'm not discrediting them, but Dons are just a massive movement, mate, to be honest. Like, their content is funny, it's it's good,
so original, isn't it,
mate? Like the Eye of the Geek and like
camera angles are just ridiculous, isn't they?
With Big G, before the kickoff. Like, I love all that. I know it's all a bit of I think it's a bit of an actor. I mean, I don't know the bloke, but it's just like, you almost know all the characters, if you know what I mean. Like Crooks, Flips, Donny, G, SK. They're all kind of.
It's very entertaining, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say it's entertaining. And then obviously we know sort of the Lambeth boys from when we done our game with them. I've had numerous conversations with Windsor after and stuff like that. had a bit of back and forth with Ha Jimbo on Twitter and YouTube.
He's entertaining, isn't he?
yeah. He's just mad for the banter, I'd say.
He's a character, yeah.
Yeah, he likes doing a bit of fishing, I think.
He does. Yeah. Do you think when you played Lambeth, they maybe underestimated you a little bit, or they didn't know enough about you?
Definitely. And I think I heard Winger's podcast with Rye and V, that they were so overhyped by beating Dons the week before. They probably come in and thought, we've just beaten the Dons, like they're meant to be one of the best in the country. Who are these muppets from Luton? Like, we'll roll them over. But I spoke to Winger after, and he was like, what sort of advice or whatever? And I said, look, every game in the National Cup's a final. You have to do your homework. And I'll go right into every detail where I'll write down every single player, and I'll type in every single player's name, and I'll find videos of them on YouTube. I'll find out who their penalty taker is. I'll find which way he's gone for his Saturday side. All little fine details like that.
You've got to do it in a competition like that, ain't you?
Yeah, and it's some people might say it's a bit busy or whatever, but for me, it was always the highest echelon of trophy that I could have won, and that's how much it meant. Do you know what I mean? And all the lads in the team sort of, I think, figured that out in the last sort of 2-3 years. So I'd say don't underestimate anyone in the National Cup, and also be wary that it ain't every, especially in the earlier rounds, because you don't have to have played any. You have to have played a certain amount of games once you get past a certain stage. But you could go play a team that are 9th in their league. They might turn up with a completely different 11. It happens. I know teams around this area who have put teams together that are rubbish in the league, but
specifically for the National Cup, they've got like another 11 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly that. So can't take anyone for granted. And they probably did. And I think Winger has come out and said that, like, we probably did underestimate them. Fair play to him. He sort of bigged us up and said that he thought that we could have went on and win it. And, he messaged us the day of the final, and I just said, yeah, appreciate it, mate. He's a top bloke. I've got a lot of time for him.
Yeah,
he's doing brilliant. I think they're hope, one day they will be on the level of SE Dons. But, for me, are SE Dons just a Sunday League club? Nah, they're a business.
Yeah.
They can say all they want that we're just a Sunday League side. Well, I get up and go and do another job. They wake up and sort of promote the whole thing. And listen, they're doing an incredible job about it. So yeah, I'd hope that Winger and that could sort of get up to that level one day, but it will take a hell of a lot of work, because everyone knows the Dons. Everyone knows.
They're huge. Well, as you said, it's not only a football club, is it? It's a business.
Exactly, and listen, fair play to them, because do I love going to work every day? Probably not, but I bet they do. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they love their job, don't they? You can imagine.
Yeah. Every day's got to be sort of nice. So yeah, credit to them all. I love the Sunday League YouTube scene. I think it's brilliant. I think there's massive scope to upscale it in this area. No one's really doing it. There's a team who will record their games, but there's no content. There's no pre-match build-up. There's no Don of the week or anything like that.
It's just literally the game. It's just the game itself.
Yeah, it's just literally the game. But
if
someone, like I've said to Ryan and that before, get yourselves up here some weekend. You know what I mean? Do a bit of content up here, and
definitely need to come up and watch one of your games.
Yeah, there's I know one guy in particular who would definitely do it for us.
Yeah,
and just get around, but I don't know logistics and finances.
I'll speak to V. I think it's something that I know he would like to do. I know he's got a lot of time for you guys, so he would like to do it.
Listen, your platform's done wonders. You know what I mean? I'll even watch a bit of SCR.
Yeah, it's great, the old SCR episode, didn't they?
Yeah. It sounds like I don't do any work. Massive. I think definitely the future. If Sunday League football's got anything, because people might say certainly up here, Sunday League football struggling, and if it's got any future, I think it's definitely off the back of the YouTube platform.
Yeah, so what you're kind of looking for the scene there is you or somebody else to just kind of start filming the games, perhaps.
Not me.
It's not going to happen for you, is it?
My little boys will be trying to pull the camera out of my hands.
I thought he was going to be the SE Don's geek. I thought he was going to be the geek and start running up and down the line.
Listen, I don't know how he keeps up with some of them players.
He must be the fittest bloke in the world.
It's got to be, mate, because Ryan and Nathan Palmer ain't exactly slow.
Yeah, and he's right up with him, isn't he, all the time?
Yeah.
He's unreal, that geezer.
Yeah.
Speaking about Sunday League in Luton, how is it in terms, obviously, I know it's probably been hugely affected, the whole COVID situation. When there's no COVID, how's the standard normally?
The standard is good. Like, there are 4 or 5 when the 5th are on it in this league. Various others sort of in and around that maybe were part of this league but moved away because logistically a lot of their players might have moved to that area or whatever. Okay. It's good, mate. You know, anyone can beat anyone. You know, we've had some big tear-ups with the likes of Lucy or Sportsman, Ebony, who we've got in the week. Like, they're the last team to beat us. So that's a
big game.
Yeah, big game. And, you know, week 4 we beat Lambeth. So, you know, we should be. Yeah, it is competitive, you know, but it's all a case of, if I'm honest with you, mate, Saturday League managers in this region have got a massive hold on players, which I think's just killing it.
So they're stopping a lot of players who maybe do want to play on a Sunday. Yeah,
and I'll be honest with you, like, if I was a Saturday League manager, I'd be players that are on the periphery on the fringe. Get out there, go and have a good game. Let's say a tough game, not
go and play on Sunday. It's going to help, isn't it?
People don't, listen, people get injured, but if people get injured on Saturdays, our team has definitely benefited from playing on Saturdays together. You know, at one, we had a team, my brother-in-law's team, that was probably out of the starting 11 that were all on the same Saturday. So. And we had great success off the back of that.
Helps for cohesion as well, doesn't it? Stuff like that as well, because they're all so familiar with each other. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, I was probably around, but I weren't on the football scene. But 15, 20 years ago, there was 10 leagues in this division. Then
it got hard, didn't it?
Then it went to 3. Now there's actually no Prem because the teams in Div 1 didn't want to go up to the Prem. So they actually cancelled the whole Prem. We had to go find another league. We had to move leagues to stay in a competitive league. We could have went down to Division 1, but I guarantee you 7, 8 out of the teams would have folded in that league then off the back of that, just because they don't want to be whipping boys. And I get that, but, you know, I made a comment a few weeks ago to one of the other teams in this league. They won the league 2 years ago. When they started out, they were getting beat like 10-0. Then they went and won the Prem. You know what I mean?
Shows you can turn it round.
Yeah, you can turn it around. All it takes, and I've got a few, is a couple of very good, well-respected dragging their mates. Drag them in, come and have a look at this. It's not crap.
Or you need a couple, as you said, a couple of players, and they bring a couple more players, and it starts turning around then, doesn't it?
It's just a snowball. It's just a snowball, and I guarantee you the good times will roll.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. Sort of as we're finishing up, I wanted to, there's one funny thing I wanted to touch on with you, actually, what did make me laugh. When, who scored your semi-final goal against Paul? And I think it was Lucas Kirkpatrick, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lucas.
Who put the Titanic music over the video?
That was a young lad called Matty Blake. He's a bit of a tech whiz.
Oh, mate.
And always making memes about me or other players, and then they'll start circulating, you know, like, have me on the head of Gladiator or whatever with some rubbish quote next to it or something like that, or be like one of the other lads, maybe, you know, that meme where the bloke's chatting up the bird in the bar and they're talking about football and the bird's just looking the other way, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, that was quite funny. I thought you were going to touch on Lucas sort of doing the baby celebration. He went like that.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah, so he didn't tell anyone. I think I was one of the only people that knew that his missus was sort of pregnant at the time. And
yeah.
His missus did not want him to announce it like that. So he did not come out of the doghouse for a couple of weeks, I think. But yeah. Yeah, no, it was, funny.
It was a sucker punch right at the end, that goal as well, wasn't it?
It was, and to be honest, mate, like I spoke to Dan after, and that game could have went either way. Their squad did catch me out. Their starting lineup.
They pulled in some of they were missing their top goal scorer who got injured the week before or a couple of weeks earlier, I think. But apart from that, Boats. But apart from that, that's the strongest team I've seen them play out in a long time.
I spoke to Dan a couple of days before it and just touched on it, and he sort of told me what had happened, and obviously no one wants to see that happen. It was probably a blessing in disguise for us because they did have chances and someone else might have buried it.
He's a goal machine, Boats, as well.
Yeah, he's a beast. He used to play centre half for them, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think he did actually. Someone else told me that.
Yeah, he played centre half in the quarter final against Doc. And he was just making people fall over the gap.
He's massive.
But now, a really good player, and hopefully he gets better and comes back.
Yeah.
Out. But yeah, it was one of them, mate. It could have went either way, and thankfully it went our way. Again, did we thoroughly deserve it? Were we at our best? I don't think so, mate. I don't think we were at our best in the final. Final third, I thought we looked clueless, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And Elliot Nevitt, what can you say? Like, pops up with a goal for us.
Well, he proved it the week after in the Vase final. Got a hat-trick, didn't he, at Wembley?
Mate, I'm sitting there watching it at home, and I'm texting the lads going, 1, 2, hat-trick. They're all just going, oh, piss off, Jeff. You know what I mean?
Jeff.
So I was like, look, yeah, it's not a bad old thing, is it? We got beat by him. He's just stuck 3 in for his Saturday, and he could have had 4.
They're a very good side, and you know, in their league, they've had so many games in hand, and they've had to play like 2-3 games a week, and they've
like Dons, really.
A little bit like Dons, yeah, and they've just continuously just been churning out like 3-2, 2-1, 1-0, and I think they're second at the moment, but they've got a couple of games in hand over top of the league. So if they win their two games...
Listen, they are.
I think they're going to win it, to be honest. I think they're going to win their league. And
I think they will. I think their momentum will carry them through. You know, a lot said for Scouse football, and it's a very good standard. And
yeah.
To be fair, they said to us after the game, their manager said, forget sort of Scouse football being, you know, the pinnacle of Sunday League. He said, you're probably the best side we've played all year. He goes, you'd do a job up there. And listen, I don't watch it, so I don't know. But
I know it's not any comfort at the time, but that's a nice thing to.
Yeah, he probably would have told me to do one if we would have beat him. But
if you'd have been told, yeah.
His words might not have been as nice, but to be honest, they weren't a bad set of lads, and they've actually invited us up to play a game and bring some supporters up with us.
Oh, nice! That'd be nice to play them again.
Yeah, and then maybe like just do a end of season team steam up there that night and sort of stay over.
I tell you, there's worse places to go for a night out than Liverpool.
Mate, I'm a Liverpool fan as well.
Oh, brilliant!
That was the first time I ever wanted Scousers to lose, unless they're Everton. But yeah, nice bunch to be fair, and a couple of them congratulated me on the birth of my daughter after the game.
That's nice. That's a nice touch.
Yeah. So credit to them.
That's a really nice touch.
And I hope they do go on and win their league.
Yeah. No, it's looking like they will. If they carry on the way they're going, I think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to say, mate? anything you want to say to any rivals, or do you want to call out any teams or anything while you're here?
Yeah.
Oh, go on, mate. Tell me.
Donny, Flips, Big G, any of you watching, we want a game with you boys. Hopefully before I leave, so it'd be nice to sort of do something, I don't know, in August time as like a pre-season for both teams. Hopefully we could get sort of a decent crowd in there, and you know, we've done Lambeth, we've done Portland, we've done Mundial. We got the name the London Slayers. I think you gave us that, Ricky.
I think I did actually, didn't I, to be fair?
So we want to go at the so-called best, you know. They've had a spread in the paper. So if they do want it, let us know. We'll get it on. And, you know, we can contribute with the costs or whatever it takes. And yeah, I think it'd be good. And it'll be a good test for them before they enter the National Cup next year, if they enter the National Cup.
They'll be able to gauge themselves, won't they? Yeah, no, I agree.
Possibly. I know it's only going to be a friendly, but I think it gives
your boys will be up for it, though, won't they?
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, everyone's up for it against the Dons, and I think you sort of see that, you know, times they're getting beat by Bickley and people like that, and no disrespect to them, but it's a bit like us up here. It don't matter if you're playing bottom of the league or second of the league. Bottom of the league are going to give it all, because everyone wants to shoot the guys at the top.
There's another 30-40% in them when they play the best, don't they?
Exactly. And we've had to sort of live with that up here, and I'm sure they live with it down there, and they're doing really well at sort of doing that.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. Well, I'll speak to V and see if we can help that. See if we can help that happen, maybe.
Or even like a 2-day tournament or something like that, with several teams. I know there's a couple that you're sort of involved with. Get them all sorted.
Yeah, we can. Well, I think there's something in the pipeline at the minute, but I can't say too much at the minute.
Yeah, I know. Ryan sort of did say to me, like, there are conversations that are happening. But
yeah,
I can tell you now, we will want to be in those conversations. So do not discount us and do not leave us out.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna certainly. That's an interesting thing you ended on there about wanting to be in sort of like a YouTube Cup or whatever, for want of a better name for it.
Yeah, I know we don't do sort of content, if you like, and maybe that will be a downfall for us for sort of putting our hand up and saying, what about us? But you know, we would love to be involved, and as I say, I chatted to Ryan and V and that, and I know sort of we've got a relatively good relationship, although that we've never met. I mean, I was sort of hoping that they would be doing the video for the semi-final, because I'd have loved to have met them.
I think he wanted to, but he did want to be honest. Yeah. But listen,
there's plenty of time yet.
Yeah, definitely, mate. So, definitely plenty of time. Well, I think that's it, mate. I think I've covered everything. If there's nothing else you want to mention.
Nah, just thanks, mate, and sort of thanks for your coverage and sort of putting us on the map, because I know that, you know, you've got very good following on Twitter and stuff like that, and obviously Urfresh doing great things and stuff like that, and you know, any press is good press, but fortunately for us, bar the National Cup, it's all been good press, and we're just delighted, and I know the lads sort of enjoy reading the content and putting them on a platform that I think that they deserve. So
they do definitely deserve to be on there, mate. No, it's the least I can do. Well, I just want to say congratulations on the birth of your little one as well, mate. I forgot to say that at the start.
Thank you.
And all the best for Sunday as well. All the best for the Cup final Sunday.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I'm sure you'll see something on Twitter and stuff.
I'll be keeping a close eye on Twitter for that update when it comes in.
Yeah, it's my last game, so there'll be a few beers after.
Yeah, so let's hope you get to lift one more cup, before you go.
Be nice. It'd be nice, mate.
I appreciate it, Macca. Thanks, mate.
All right, Ricky. I'll see you later, mate.
I'll see you soon, mate.